Good morning, guys. Keith at Crypto Bullseye. This one's for the Jasmy Army. Jasmy's currently trading at 0.01292. So why have I brought this to your attention? Because we've been doing lots of Jasmy videos, but one question that you guys keep asking me is why I use the daily time frame, why I don't go into a shorter time frame. And the reason is, guys, it is current market sentiment, where we are in the market cycle, where I think that the moves are going to be made, and how long it's going to take for those moves to be made. So I am going to go into the 4 hours today, guys. There is a reason why I'm going to go in the 4 hour, and it's because of this. So if we just jump into Bitcoin, jump into the 4 hour, you could see that we're getting close towards the apex of a bull pennant. That means that we're ready for an imminent move, either to the upside, either to the downside. We're hoping it's going to be to the upside. If it is to the upside, that's Bitcoin in price discovery, new all-time highs, confidence in the market. Bitcoin dominance has already started coming down. So then we can look at Jasmy on the 4 hour, and you can see one thing. We've had a 1, we've had a 2, we've had a 3. What do I say time and time again? 1, 2, 3, fake out. That's why we wait for 3 touches to confirm a trend. And if we just zoom in, you can see that we've finally had a breakout. We've come back down. We've retested this area. So this is what I'm going to show you guys, and this is how I'm going to play it on the smaller time frame. And one thing that we can see when we jump into the smaller time frame is that we are creating a bull flag. So we're creating a bull flag. Bull flags are bullish. We've had a breakout. We've had a retest. We know exactly where the low is. I'm going to show you exactly where the low is. If this level holds, guys, it is all dependent on the Bitcoin chart. So you can see when we look at the Bitcoin chart, and don't forget we are on the 4 hour, you look at the Bitcoin chart, look how close we are to the end of the apex. Each one of these candlesticks represents 4 hours of price action. So just to the end of the apex, you've got 2 days and 20 hours, just under 3 days, guys. So within the next 3 days, Bitcoin's got to make a big move. When Bitcoin makes a big move, if it's in our direction, guys, things like Jasmy Coin, things like the altcoins are going to start really rallying. How do we know they're going to start really rallying? Look on the 4 hour, we look at the Bitcoin dominance. This is what we needed to happen, guys. And this is what I was talking about on the channel. We needed a double top here. We needed a rejection here. We got a double top here. We got a rejection here. And guess what? We've just taken out this low here. So Bitcoin dominance took out that low. It's swept the low. It's coming back up now for a retest. As long as we maintain a lower high here, guys, expect another move to the downside. If we expect another move to the downside in dominance, expect altcoins to outperform Bitcoin during that period, and things like Jasmy Coin can really start rallying. So it is important that we look at the apex. It's important to monitor the next 2 days and 20 hours, find out which direction that Bitcoin breaks, and then that's going to give us an indication of altcoins. So we look at Jasmy Coin. Let's have a deep look at Jasmy Coin. Firstly, one thing that we can do, or firstly, one thing that I'll explain is this is the Fibonacci level. This is our support. This is our resistance. We've gone from the swing low. Remember, when you're using a fib tool, from the swing low to the swing high. Why do we do that? Because we're measuring how far the pullback is, how far the retracement is. And if you remember, guys, in the Fibonacci lesson, 38.2% retracement, a reaction from that and a continuation of trend is the strongest trend. 618 is a healthy trend. We dropped the 618, we dropped the 786 slightly here, guys, and then we managed to pull back. So this is the bull flag. There's the flag pull. There's the flag pull. This is the flag. This is how you play this move, guys. You either break into the upside, you break into the downside. Just get rid of the flag pull. You break into the upside or you break into the downside, and it is simple as that. And this allows you to apply one thing: risk management, because you've got a bottom trend line here, you've got a top trend line here. You're going to do one of two things. You're going to break to the upside, come back down, retest, and then continue up, or you're going to do the opposite. You're going to break to the downside, reject, and potentially come back and sweep this low. So they're the two scenarios for Jasmy Coin, and that's what we're waiting for. Now, this 618, why did we say this 618 was important? The 61.8% retracement, it acted as support, until we broke through, and then it was resistance. This bull flag broke through with some velocity, some volume, that we managed to take out the lower high, take out this lower high, and then put in a new higher high here. So that's strong. We're in the bull flag, and then we bring up the indicators. So remember the aim of the game as far as the RSI is concerned. As far as the RSI is concerned, when you're above 50, you're bullish. When you're below 50, you're bearish. And you can just compare that to price, guys. You can see when we're above here, bullish. When you're below here, bearish. So when you're below the 50, you tend to be putting in lower lows and lower highs. When you're above the 50, you start to put in higher highs and higher lows. So as and when we get past this 0.1618, which we're rejecting that now, once we get past that at 0.01321, guys, expect us to regain this 50 level here. Expect that to happen. The next thing, we look at the stochastic RSI, we look at that for overbought and oversold positions to indicate who has got momentum at any given time. And remember, when you're putting a stochastic RSI into overbought and it comes back down into oversold, you maintain that higher low, guys, that is bullish going forward. Look what happens here. So you've got the bottom, that was here. You've got the big move to the upside, overbought here, we needed to cool off. Now, this is the important thing. We needed to cool off. We've come all the way back down to the bottom. We haven't come back and tested this low. We've actually put in a higher low as the stochastic has reset. Then what happened? We're overbought again here. That's here, overbought, and we're coming back down into oversold again. So the aim of the game, guys, in the short term, because remember it's a 4-hour, shorter time horizon, the aim of the game is for us to push up here. And as we're pushing up here, as we're pushing up there, we want to break this previous high. Once you test this range and come back, that's confirming that that level is going to hold as support, which was previous resistance. That's an RS flip and a high probability we're going up to the next move, which is the 38.2% retracement at 0.01630. Once you get a reaction from there, expect a pullback, but expect to put in a higher low, guys. So that's why we're monitoring Bitcoin. That's why we're looking at the indicators. That's why we're looking at the RSI. That's why we look at the dominance. That's why we look at Ethereum and all of these charts collectively to paint that bigger picture, because ultimately, I love Jasmy Coin, guys, but ultimately it is more of a high risk speculative asset than what Bitcoin is, than what Ethereum is, than what Solana is, than what XRP is, than what Cardano is. So you need to treat it as a higher risk. Guys, I'm in Jasmy Coin. I've got quite a bit in Jasmy Coin. Not a huge amount. When I look at the pie of the portfolio, I'd probably say around 5%. So I've got it, guys, but in accordance with my risk curve. If something happens with Jasmy Coin, the rest of them can make up for that. But that's the reason why we do look at the macro. That's the reason why we look at Bitcoin. That's the reason why we look at dominance. That's the reason why we look at the strength of the dollar, which is getting weak, guys. USDT dominance getting weaker. And then the the main one. Strength of the dollar is getting weaker. We want a weak dollar, strong crypto, weak dollar, strong speculative on risk assets. So the dollar is getting weaker. That's what Mr. Trump wanted. So that's rosy, guys. All we need now is that Fed rate cut. So hopefully we'll get a rate cut in July, guys. It's not built in, but we could get some kind of a surprise rate cut. What would that do to the markets? That would create stimulus. Stimulus goes into the markets, guys. That's money going into high risk assets. That's money going into on risk assets. And it's not just retail, guys. It's institutions. Why do you think institutions do it? Because as the interest rates coming down, as the dollar interest rates coming down, that means that they're getting less interest. When they get less interest, they want more opportunity. When they want more opportunity, they go into higher risk. So that's the reason behind it, guys. It's not just retail, it's institutions too. So if you did find this video useful, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I've got a big video later on, which I'm going to be doing with Real Infinite Crypto, Brad. And we're going to go over altcoin requests. We're going to be doing it live, and then we're going to be doing some live trading. So go and check that out today, guys. Go and join, subscribe to Brad's channel, hit the notification bell on Brad's channel, and then watch me later on the live. Right, okay, that is about it from me for now, guys. That was a bit of a rant, but let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.